saying is you don't want to follow event com. Reading that list of upcoming events, it's tough to follow that. It's nice to see everybody again. Since I'm among friends, tell me if I handled this properly, if I handled it correctly. It snowed recently. I look outside and my neighbor is shoveling my driveway. And I didn't ask him to do it. So I thought about it, and I look outside and I realize that he's shoveling the driveway because I'm the old guy on the block. And he's worried that if I do it, I'm going to keel over, and that would affect his property value. But I can still do it. And I went outside and I told him, as soon as he was finished. When you get older, women look at you differently. We become distinguished. Yeah, I know how a woman in her 30s distinguishes me from other guys. She's distinguishing me from someone she'd have sex with. I was talking with a young female comic, and I stared at her t-shirt trying to figure out what it said. And perhaps I looked for a little too long, because I saw that she was looking at me, looking at her shirt. So I said, I'm sorry, I was just trying to read your shirt. And she said, it's okay. And I said, no, it's not okay. A man shouldn't make a woman feel uncomfortable. And she said, I don't think of you that way. I can't even be creepy anymore. When you get older, you pack for a trip differently. When you're younger, you ask, did I bring the right bathing suit? When you get older, you ask, did I bring all my pills? Let's see. We leave on Friday. The pill box goes from Sunday to Saturday. And we're staying until the following Wednesday. I didn't know there'd be math. Should I get another pill box? Should I bring home my pills? Maybe I should just stay home. So nice to be back here at what Siri calls Share Tiflin. Maybe it's anti-Semitic. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you, I just got progressive glasses. So if you see me doing this a lot, I'm not davening. There's a joke I'm not telling you at the pub. As you know, the Super Bowl's tomorrow, which means, again, it's Erev Super Bowl. So I'm going to ask the same questions I always ask, but with an extra option. Who's rooting for the San Francisco 49ers? Who's rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs? Who just wants to hear and see if they show Taylor Swift? And who just wants to eat little hot dogs? This is the 13th night of sweet laughter. That means that that joke just had its B'nai Mitzvah. Plant a tree in Israel for it. Are we familiar with Sweet Frog? Yeah, the chain is one not far from here. I love going to Sweet Frog. So I go there, and I can't get the frozen yogurt out of the machine because the lever doesn't work, which is a problem as a guy gets older, but that's not what we're talking about now. So a young female employee comes over, and I can read her shirt. It spelled out the word frog, as in Sweet Frog. It said, fully rely on God. I didn't know this. I don't care. And then I go to the cash register. Cash register. There's a sign that you're old, the cash register, they're pressing buttons, the pay station. And there's a sign above the machine that says, Sweet Frog was founded on Christian principles. This is news to me. Now, I don't know much about Christianity. What, was froyo served at the Last Supper? And is this going to stop me from going there? Of course it's not. I like my froyo with cherries and proselytizer. I have a reputation as a clean comic because I don't curse on stage. So I was asked to open a show for a gospel comic. And it was a great show, but before it began, the host asked all of us to gather together, close our eyes, hold hands, and pray for a good show. That's fine, except another comic asked me, does that offend you as a Jew? And I said, no, but I've heard your act, and you should have been praying for better material. Showed him. Just as an aside, that's an old joke, I told it here before, but I stopped telling it because I have other material, but since October 7th, I've been telling that joke a lot, because it feels right. I hope you think so too. I always try, as Erwin said, I always try to come up with new material. And because I see you every year. My wife said to me, well, you can tell the same jokes every year, they're not going to remember. I don't know if she's insulting my comedy or your memory. But either way, I'm going to empty the tank and tell all my wife jokes. And if you think she's offended by that, she helps me write, okay? So don't worry about her. My wife got good news and bad news in the same doctor's report. The good news, her hearing is just fine. The bad news is now I know she's been ignoring me. All guys like to look at other women. All married guys always look at other women, except for one guy I know, he says he doesn't because it's disrespectful to his wife. That's sweet. I have a nickname for him, Liar. You know that as soon as he leaves the room, his wife puts on Magic Mike. A young guy I know asked me what marriage is like. I said, let me tell you a story. My wife asked me if I wanted to go somewhere, and I said no. And she said, oh, we're going. And I said, so why'd you ask me? And she said, I wanted you to feel as if you were involved. That's what marriage is like. My wife was holding a hammer because she was putting up a picture. And I said, I better stay away from you while you're holding that hammer. And she looks at me cold in the eye and says, that's not how I would kill you. I said, you thought about this? She said, it's my backup plan. It's good to know. But after all these years of marriage, my wife and I decided it was time to shake things up. So we did. We went to a different Target. We did the same things, but in a different order. It was crazy. On the day of her anniversary, I went to her Facebook page and I wrote, happy anniversary to my wonderful wife. This counts as a card. She didn't mind. We've been doing this for so long. She didn't mind. We always just get each other whenever cards are on sale. You don't know how many times we celebrated Kwanzaa. I've been married for so long, I wouldn't know what to say to another woman. Our idea of sexy talk is finding 2 Bed Bath & Beyond coupons. Ooh, these prices are making me hot. I wouldn't know what to do with another woman. Went to a bar with a friend, he asked me what I thought about a nearby woman. I looked at her, and all I could think was, there's a woman who knows when it's recycle day. I've been married for so long, I forgot what sex is like when you're single. There's a single guy at work, he said, I can't wait to go home, my girl's gonna be there, and we're gonna have sex tonight. And I said, but it's Tuesday. You know what I'm talking about. And my wife said I need a new purse. And I said, I only have one wallet. I don't see why you need to have more than one purse. And she said, I don't see why we need to have sex more than once a week. I hadn't thought about it that way. So I bought her 7 purses. Thank you, Sheriff. My name is Sheriff.
You know, it's funny, I got this thing, I work for a company that loves to send us random gifts. And this year they sent us one of those projection TVs that you can put on a big screen on the wall of your house. And we got all excited because we want to watch the big game on Sunday. So when we're setting it up and we're all excited to watch the big game, you know, the Puppy Bowl. Rough and tough, rough and fluff, man, I don't know. Who here watching the Puppy Bowl? Come on. Yeah, see, it's one of the most watched events on TV on tomorrow. That's all the talk, right? Anyway, you all think I'm kidding. We're really preparing for making food for it. Okay, I'm done telling you about it. You just don't care about the big game. All right, you guys ready for your next comic? All right. She came all the way down here from New York City. Please give it up for Emily Epstein White.
Tootsie before this, you know, the scene where she's just marching and all the yeah, I like this. Also, I just wanted to say happy bat mitzvah to all of you for 13 years. That's amazing. That is amazing. That's wonderful to do 13 years of comedy. I assume all of the comics are going to get high necklaces before we leave, right? That's the traditional present that you give all of us. And I love that you guys are doing a wine tasting. I think that's amazing. I love that there's also childcare. Just a little life hack that I have found that works really well is if you give the children some of the wine from the wine tasting, then there's nap time and you can have more wine tasting at that. So I'm not telling you how to run your congregation, but I just think that works very, very efficiently. I just want to do a little temperature check. Where are my Jews? Where are my Jews? Where are, I like that you were like, you know, I don't need to do this. I'm not going, I know, where are you? Let me hear it, come on. I love that. I'm never in a situation, well, I mean, other than synagogue, where there's so many Jews. Like, that does not happen at comedy shows, and it's so wonderful to be around so many Jews. I'm also a tribe member, if you can't tell from looking at my face. I wear like a Technicolor green coat. But I do, I love it, and sometimes I feel like you assume too much, right? You can never assume with your audience. I used to live in the Bay Area in San Francisco, and you think of that as a very, very liberal area, right? So I was doing this show that was like an hour outside, and I should have known that something was going to go wrong because it was like the highway turned into a dirt road, and you're like, this isn't good, this is not what I'm used to. And I get there, and it's like this little mill town, and they're all farmers. farmers, and they're all almond farmers. That's a thing that people still do, except they all pronounced it Amen, which made me very uncomfortable. Like, you should know how to pronounce your product, right? So I was just trying to do a little temperature check. So I was like, hey, are there any Jews in this town? And they were like, no. And I was like, do you guys know any Jews? And they were like, no. And I was like, cool, have any of you seen Seinfeld before? Just as a point of like cultural reference. And one person stood up and goes, I don't like that show. And I'm like, this is gonna be amazing. Yeah, this is just give me the money now and keep the car running. That's what we're gonna do. It also turned out they were all Trump supporters, so it was fun. I was really glad that I got out alive. And they presented me with a bag of amens before I left, which was so wonderfully underhanded because I'm allergic to nuts. Yeah, that was a fun parting gift. I am so happy to be here, though. My name is Emily Lauren Epstein White. Basically, what I do is just collect common names and add them onto more common names, thinking eventually, if I add enough names, that maybe someone will be able to Google me. My name, Emily, is a very common name. It is so common that the New York Times wrote an article about it, where they called my name heroically ordinary. Screw you, New York Times. And they're right, it is a very, I mean, there were 8 Emily's in my graduating high school class. Like, when I hear someone yell Emily in a crowded room, I just don't turn around. Because I figure they need to get to me, they'll get there. My middle name is Lauren, so obviously my parents just weren't even trying. My last name is Epstein, which is like Smith for Jews. Although we did gain some notoriety in the last year. So now when people are like, how do you say your name? I'm like, not like Jeffrey. And they're like, okay, yeah, no, I gotta say that. I'm a liberated woman. I wasn't gonna take my husband's last name. I am married, sorry, ladies. And wasn't gonna take his last name, but I was like, nah, I should probably add it. So my married last name is White, which is fun, because my husband is black. Isn't that fun? I was like, can I do Caucasian? He's like, no, you take ours. It would be the Caucasian whites. It's very weird. That's very uncomfortable. We're not doing that. So that is my last name. I'm very happy that the pandemic is whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but we're just giving up. I think is what's happening now. That's where we're at. We're just like, we need to go outside. I mean, the last couple of years have been rough. I did so many things on Zoom. Did you guys do all the Zoom things? Yeah, all the Zoom things. All of the Zoom things. Lower, louder, higher.
Away from your mouth.
Oh, well, away from my mouth? Okay. Here? Here. Here, okay. So I did all the things on Zoom. I did Zoom meetings, so many Zoom meetings. I did Zoom comedy shows. Has anybody ever attended a Zoom comedy show before? Yeah? Important question, did you enjoy it? No. Yeah, no, they're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. A Zoom comedy show is like if you take, like, critics and the saddest version of Hollywood Squares and make it a little bit funny. That's what a Zoom comedy show is. Like, they're really, really miserable, especially as a comic, where you kind of like need to see people and like feed off their energy. But I did have lunch, so it was just amazing. I had one dude that was my favorite. He was in the upper right-hand corner. And he was all by himself, and he had just ordered what I would call the left side of the Chinese menu, plus 4 orders of dumplings. And he was just living his best life, right? So he had all this food, he's by himself, he's eating, he's happy. I don't think he was wearing pants, that's fine, it's his choice. Eating, he takes a bite, he smiles to himself, he pauses, he looks like he's having a wonderful time. Then I see this gentleman take the largest bomb hit that I've ever seen a human being take in the history of the world. Then he took a break, as you do, smiled to himself, took a pause. Then I saw him take a very large hit of his asthma inhaler. And that performance piece was called self-care. That's what that was. Because sometimes you are the performance. You know what I mean? Like, that's what happens sometimes. I'm very, very happy that the pandemic is somewhat over. I don't know if you can tell from the dead look in my eyes, but I have small children. I do. I have 2. I think I drink. I have a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old that are at home. That is not complete. Well, I do have a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old, but they're in the car. Childcare is very expensive. There's a raffle tonight, you guys, right? There's a raffle. Part of the raffle, this wasn't announced. I'm sorry about that, I didn't tell you. One part of the raffle tonight is for my children, okay, guys? We're gonna give away my children. I'm actually gonna pay you. That's what's gonna happen. So we're gonna do that. They're in the cards, unlocked. You know, if you just wanna take one, you can just go and take one. That's totally fine. Just like leave a note, you know what I mean? So they know that they're not wanted. That's what I'm hoping for. But over the course of the pandemic, I spent a lot of time with my children. A lot of time with my children. And I think if I had known the pandemic was gonna happen, I would have had less children. Like 100% less children, I think. It's the round, I'm not a mathematician, but that's the number that I would have gone for. There used to be like a lot of things that I would do that were like my special time, you know, that I would do just for me. Like yoga was one of the things I used to do. You guys, anybody here do yoga? Anybody? A couple people, all the women are like, yes, I do. Yeah, as a white woman, legally we have to do yoga, that's the thing. And yeah, I mean, it was a thing that I would do by myself in darkness, you know, I would fart and stretch, it was beautiful, right? But by the end of the pandemic, I was just doing it in front of the big window, no pants, because who needs pants when you don't leave your house, right? I was doing it with my children, and maybe you're like, what is it like doing yoga with small children? I'll tell you. Not fun. It's not fun is what it is. My 5-year-old was not involved at all. My 7-year-old got involved by the end. What she would do is she would take her Encanto beach towel, and she would rearrange it around where I was trying to focus, and then she would deep sigh, and then she would leave after 5 minutes. It was a really beautiful experience. We've never been closer. But she did have a really incredible breakthrough, which was amazing. There was one point where I was doing yoga, and she stopped everything. She says, Mommy, stop, look at me. I'm like, yeah, that's how it works. And she goes, look, I'm doing yoga. And I'm like, kid, that's child's pose. You're doing, like, I'm not giving you credit if your profession is in a position. Do you know what I mean? Like, as your mother, I want more for you. But then I had a really beautiful yoga moment myself. I was doing downward dog, you know, the one with your little booty up in the air, right? And I was doing it, and it was great, and my dog came out from under the bed, right? And started doing downward dog with me, making like unwavering eye contact, like this, like a very long time. Like we're just sitting here, and it was amazing. It was so long, it was like we were transcending like space and time and magic and everything. And then I thought about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what if my dog is doing to me exactly what I was doing to my daughter? He's like, look, put your ass up, look up, just put your butt up. I don't need special pants for this. Come on, lady. That's probably what it was. It was probably the second one and not the magic at the time. I took my dog to the vet recently because I'm a better dog mother than real mother, quite possibly. Car's still unlocked. And I was making small talk with the receptionist. She was very nice. And she's like, oh, your dog is so cute. Is he adopted? And I was like, no, it was a natural birth. There was like a moment where I had to get my husband on the same page, and then we like agreed to raise him as our own. And you know, since I'm Jewish, he gets his fur from me. It's a Siberian Husky, so you know that is it's great. That is great. I love my kids. They are gigantic. I know I have such a hard time. It feels so unnatural to hold the mic here. Like I just want to hold it in my mouth. I apologize. I have my kids are gigantic. I have very large children. My daughter is 7 years old and she is 4'7". Right? Thank you. For some context, I am 5 feet tall, or I was this morning. I'm probably like 4'10" now. And like I should have known, my daughter was gigantic from the beginning. When I gave birth to her, it was very traumatic, really horrible. We tried to do it natural. It was a whole mess. Had to have an emergency C-section. And the one thing I remember from the end is my doctor pulling my baby out, and it looked exactly like a magician with scars. Like he's like, ugh, is this your baby? Oh, it's black. No, that's my baby. Thank you. I'll take that. I thought I had like a couple more years before my daughter was bigger than me, but it's looking like the end of this year, which feels great. It's at the point now, like when my husband does the laundry, God bless him, he does not know whose clothes or whose, and that's hurtful. Like I think even though like I could wear her clothes and she could wear mine, like it's very obvious whose clothes are whose. Like the day of the week thongs are mine, right? The hipster briefs are hers. Hello, that is how you do it. But there was one piece of my laundry recently, and I was like, this is not my shirt. My husband's like, put it on. I was like, that's not the point. I'm like, it is a glitter unicorn farting a rainbow, okay? That is not my brand. I am very concerned though about the day when we're gonna have to just share clothes, like when that happens. I feel like at the end of this year, my daughter, we're gonna have her parent-teacher conference, and they're gonna be like, she's doing great, her handwriting is wonderful, but why are all her clothes from Aunt Taylor Loft? Like, how else do you go from school to after-school drinks, right? A sensible cardigan, that's how you do it. My children are bluish. Maybe you're not clear on what that is. They are black and Jewish. That is what my children are. They are like Drake or Lenny Kravitz for context there. And it is wonderful. I love my brown children. I love taking them out. I love the questions that I get from strangers. It's always nice. Yes, always warranted. The fun thing is when I get questions about my children when we're also walking our dog, because it's not really clear who they're talking about. But the nice thing is I can just answer one blanket statement for anybody. They'll be like, oh my God, he's so cute, what is he? And I say, thank you so much. They're a rescue. And you can't pet them, they bite. So that works really well. My daughter now is starting to ask a lot of questions about everything. She's very inquisitive, and she loves to just like belabor every point. So we were at the supermarket recently, and I couldn't reach something because I'm this size. And I don't know why they don't give you little grabby things just for your self-esteem, but that's another question. So I walked into the supermarket, I can't reach something, a stranger has to help me, per usual, right? So the woman gets the thing off the shelf for me, I thank her. And my daughter turns to me and goes, Mommy, very loudly, why are you so short? And I don't know why I responded this way. I obviously wasn't thinking. I was like, I don't know, I guess God made me that way. And then my daughter, even louder, goes, Mommy, you know there's no such thing as God. And I just watched everybody in the supermarket, like an earthquake, just back up like 3,000 feet. They're like, you can handle that, I'm not getting involved. I am not getting involved. I gave birth to my daughter in Berkeley, California. I don't know if anybody has been to Berkeley, California before. You know what it's like. Yeah, it's a lovely place. It's a horrible place to be a mother because you basically failed before you've even given birth, right? Very hippy-dippy. You're supposed to give birth with no drugs. You're supposed to stop nursing when they're 25 because they have to say, no, thank you, I don't want this anymore, mother, I drink organic now. It's like a whole thing, right? So I'm in a birthing class with my husband because it's our first and we're trying. And we're sitting on this ball. I'm like 20 months pregnant, it's natural birth. And I'm the size of the ball. And the woman is so annoying. She's like a love Sherpa birth guru. I don't know what they call them. They're stupid names, right? And then she says something that really was just like it for us. She's like, okay, I want you to take your lovest fingers, with an AH, that's inappropriate, your lovest fingers, and I want you to put them on your partner's third eye. And my husband goes, we're leaving. And I said, I know, but we paid money for this, so let's just try and, see it through. And then he did something that made me fall in love with him so much. He took my fingers, and he put them on my third eye. And then he said, may the power of Christ compel you. May the power of Christ compel you. May the power of Christ, and that is how you get kicked out of a birthday class. That's how you do it. You don't get your money back, but it's completely worth it, so it's totally fine. And then after we lived in California, we moved to Philadelphia, and we moved from that area to Philadelphia in December of that year to make sure that it was the worst decision that we'd ever made, right? And at that point, my daughter was 2. So the one thing we're thinking about, we're like, well, she's never experienced snow, so that'll be fun, right? So we put her in a little snowsuit, we take her outside, she's outside for 5 minutes, she goes, all done. All done. And I was like, yeah, me too, I am also done. Yes, this was a bad decision. But it took so long to put the snowsuit on, and you probably already peed in it, so like, let's give it a little more time. Let's just give it like 10 more minutes, right? My daughter hated the snow so much and helped her to develop new language skills, which was so beautiful to watch. Because that was the first time that I ever heard my 2-year-old say, this is some bullshit. Which is beautiful, with that little 2-year-old bliss. It really is, it's the most wonderful. I'm gonna say something now, it's very controversial, but I'm gonna live my truth. I I am much happier having kids outside my body than inside my body. I know, I'm just breaking ground here, but it's how I feel. There are so many things that you cannot have when you're pregnant that you need so very much. It's so ridiculous. And they say that the issue is science, but I really think it's judgment, right? Can of caffeine, can of alcohol, although all my friends were like, don't even worry about it. My mom drank the whole time. Look at me. Like, thank you for keeping me on track, because you're a disaster. Is that what I am? Can't have soft cheeses, can't have sushi as a white woman, that's like my lifeblood, right? So that's very hard. And then there are the cravings. You never know what the cravings are that you're gonna have. So when I was pregnant with my daughter, my craving was for Acme sheet cake. It's a very Philadelphia thing. Some people call it Acme, some people call it Acme. It doesn't matter how many syllables you give it. There are none in California, right? So this is a big point of concern. So we're very concerned when we got pregnant with my son, right? But the good news was that we were living in Philadelphia at the time, right? So we're like, this will be great. There's Acme everywhere. Only issue, you guys? Totally different craving when I was pregnant with my son. My craving when I was pregnant with my son was for cocaine. The good news is they have that everywhere in Philadelphia, so that was not a problem. It was really great. But they're fine now, it's fine, he's out of my body now, it's all good. I will say though, for memories, when he was younger and still in diapers, sometimes I would change his diaper and flip him over, just do a line right off his booty. No baby strip. So adorable. It turns out that both my children hate snow, so it's good that they are consistent about that. You guys really know we really should take our children. This is really not a safe space. I'm married. I've been married for 12 years now. Anybody here married? I don't know if you're sad about it or not, but you're like, I don't want to talk about it. Has anybody been married for like a really long time? How long?
47.
Ooh, that's a long time. Is this your husband?
And that is.
So you have a, you're a couple. Look at that, that's so progressive. Look at that, that's like, you know what, your body, your business, that's beautiful. Okay, so I always want to know, I always am trying to figure out, do you have like, how you make a marriage work? Please tell me. Any of the three of you can tell me. Any of you that have the secret, please tell me. Damon, how do you make this drug work?
How to make it work? I just say yes.
Say yes. That's beautiful. Give it up for Stan, everybody. I am always trying to figure it out. Everybody has a different answer. My favorite answer that I've ever gotten was a couple that had been married for 50 years. They were sitting right next to each other. They were touching each other, no shade. And they just like they were, and they both wanted to talk, and the wife was like, I got this. And her husband's like, okay. She's like, the secret to a successful relationship, she said, is spreadsheets. That's what she said. She said, spreadsheets. And then her husband turned to her, I swear this is what he said in a room full of strangers. He said, honey, did you say spreadsheets or spread your cheeks? That is the thing that two people said to each other, and I said, obviously, the key is communication. Yeah. Also, Google Calendar, because like Tuesday you gotta do some stuff, you know what I mean? You can be like, honey, we talked about it, it's on the calendar, let's make that happen. I had like such a long list of what I thought was important in a relationship. By the time I got married, I had one thing on my list. That's it. And it was that he was straight. For me. That was it. That was the only thing that I had left on my list. Because I went through this phase in college, I don't know if this happened to anybody, where I would date a guy and we would break up and he would discover he was gay. Did that happen to anybody else? It's so cold up here. It happened to me 7 times, because I love pussy. It did. It happened 7 times. When it happens 7 times, there's legal protocol about how things work. The first thing that happens is you get funding from the Queer Alliance. That's how I picked the college. You're in every musical. I was bra number 7. You get a nickname. That is also a thing that happens. My nickname was the Rainbow Gate. They gave me a t-shirt and everything. On the front it said Rainbow Gate. On the back it said, all may enter, but most prefer a different exit. It was a large t-shirt. And it felt good. And so, my mother-in-law came to live with us for 6 of the longest months of my entire life. And I learned a very valuable lesson, and that is what I'm looking for in my second husband. Do you know what it is? It's that he's an orphan. Yeah. That is what I'm looking for. It's good to know what you need, right? I do a lot of shows, and I love when people come up to me and say things, hopefully nice, not always, but it's fine. My favorite thing, a guy came up to me recently and he goes, "This is gonna sound sexist." And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And he's like, "I didn't think that women were funny, but you were funny." And you would think that's such an insult, right? But that's like the biggest compliment that you can get, because you just changed this person's worldview, right? Like, he's like, "I thought that all women could do was like make babies and clean and cry, but like, look at you, you're just like coming up with thoughts and saying things." And I was like, "Oh my God, I have so much power right now, I need to use it wisely." So I was really careful, but when he walked away, I just whispered very quietly, "And the earth is not flat." And he exploded. It was the best. It was so wonderful. Yeah, thank you. It's not. I use the power for good, everybody, so you're welcome. I never get told that I look like anybody. Like, I often get told that I look like someone's friend, which is fun, from strangers. Right after they ask what race my child is, it's a very fun conversation. I have to often ask that follow-up question, is it a woman? It's a 60-40 spread on that one, which always feels good. I mean, one woman doesn't want to be handsome with a strong job, right? But it does. It happens often. It happens multiple times a week. And I was with a friend, and it happened for like the 3,000th time. And he's like, "Oh my God, I've actually been thinking about this, and I figured out who you look like." And I was like, "Sweet, let's talk about it." And then he says, my friend says this to me. He says, "If Barbara Streisand," and I was like, "You don't need to finish this. You don't need, and Beyonce? Is Beyonce the other one?" No. She's like, "If Barbara Streisand and my cousin Vinny had a baby." Joe Pesci, that's what she said. Those are the two people that she put together. Now here's the thing, very talented people, right? Very talented people, but not aesthetically. Those are not people that you were to squish together and be like, "Let's see if we can make another person out of this." This is not a thing that happens. Like, no one has ever been in bed with their partner and been like, "I love you, but if my cousin Vinny comes in here, I'm gonna have to have sex with him." And I'm right, but I'm sure you talk about that all the time, Stan. And the worst part, there were like 10 other people in the overheard this conversation, and I watched them all process it and go, yes, that's exactly what you look like. So I told this story at a show once, and I overheard this very drunk guy from the back who just wanted to help, because they always do. He screamed out, and I quote, "You look like Anne Frank!" Yeah, that's a real thing that happened in real life. And if you want to know what happened in that situation, it was completely silent. And I just heard one person go, "Oh shit." Which I think is the right way to combat anti-Semitism, right? If you see something, you say, "Oh shit." And the worst part is that I do look like Anne Frank, too. I do look like her. But I mean, who doesn't want to be young and a published author, right, you guys? Too soon? I will tell you one more story before I go. I did live in New York for a long time, and I worked in a corporate job. I hated this corporate job. It was the worst job, right? It was the type of job where you decide that you're going to go to the gym at lunch just to pass the time, right? Like, I got every mole checked to the dermatologist. I've been amazing. I was in the best shape of my life, right? So I was also very depressed, right? And I was trying to dress the opposite of how I feel, which was dead inside. So that particular day, right, it was a beautiful day out. I was coming from a dermatologist appointment. I just had a mole removed. I was feeling good, right? I'm wearing a blue dress and some strappy heels. I was looking good. And I'm at Fifth Avenue. You know Midtown Manhattan, right? Very busy area, especially in the middle of the day. And if you also know how New Yorkers work, they never look where they're going. They just cross the street and do what they do, and we'll see what happens, right? But on this particular day, I was like, I got time, right? So the light changes. It's not my time to cross. I'm like, that's okay, I'll wait. I wait for the light to change. I start to walk across the street. I'm minding my own business. And out of the corner of my eye, I see this truck starting to turn from the left-hand side. And I was like, that's cool, I got the right way. And I'm walking. And I'm seeing this truck is getting very, very close, right? So I do what any 5-foot-tall person does. Put my hand up to make myself 5'2". And I was like, I'm walking here, right? But as I did this, I could feel the exhaustion right? So I did something without thinking, right? It continues to move faster to be right in front of me. I grab the truck in front of the grill with my right hand, right? And because I'm a lady, I also grab it with my left hand and pick my feet up, right? Now this whole time, I'm holding on, I'm looking up, I'm screaming and cursing all the things I won't because we're in a synagogue, right? And this truck is starting to speed up. And I'm thinking, oh my God, at some point this truck has to stop, right? Why is no one doing anything? And I see the truck driver, he's looking right over my head, very calm, just looking at the road, doesn't see me. I see everybody coming, driving in the other direction, I see them process what's happening. I'm like, why is no one calling the cops? And I realize I'm in Midtown Manhattan, right? Like people probably think we're shooting a scene from a movie, right? So I'm like, this is great, I hope someone makes me famous. So I'm riding on the front of this truck, he's speeding up, we've gone an avenue and a half. At this point, I'm like, I'm gonna die or end up in Poughkeepsie, right? So I'm screaming and I'm screaming and I'm screaming, we're speeding up, we're 2 avenues now, and all of a sudden he looks down, he sees me, he slows down the truck, and I get off. And I'm very freaked out, right? Very upset, and I'm cursing, and he's like, you okay? And I'm like, I don't know! So I move to the side, I'm trying to figure out if I'm okay, I'm gonna be all kinds of black and blue the next couple of days, my shoe is broken, I'm a mess. This guy comes over, the guy that was driving the truck, he's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you. I'm like, well, yeah, I get that. And he's like, my wife died, I wasn't paying attention. I was like, fantastic. So he's like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know, I've never been hit by a truck before. He's like, well, why you? I'm like, my shoe's broken. And he's like, well, how much does that cost? I'm like, I don't know. So we walk very calmly to an ATM, because that's what you do when this happens, right? And he's trying to make small talk with me the whole time. He's like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, seriously? He's like, I'm a truck driver. I'm like, I know what you do. So he gives me $60 for my shoes because I'm worth it, right? And I don't get his information. I treat my Toyota Avalon better than I treat my body, right? I didn't get his name, I didn't get his insurance, I didn't get anything. He's like, I'm so sorry. And we hugged, I said, I need you to be more careful next time. We walked away. And the first call I made was to my office because I was late to get back to work. And I called my boss and said, I'm gonna be late coming back to work. And she's like, what's the excuse this time? And I'm like, well, I got hit by a truck. She's like, that's a new one, take your time. The next call I make is to my husband. I was like, I just got hit by a truck. My husband was a bicycle messenger for years in New York City. He's like, I've been hit by 4 trucks, welcome to the club, right? So I get my shoe repaired, I go back to work, everybody's calling me Spider-Man, but I learned a very important lesson from that experience, right? And that is that you should never end up in a miserable, miserable situation because you can always do something to make it better, right? So a couple months later, I end up getting a job in California. We moved to California. The first time I go to cross the street, someone stops for me, and I start to cry, and I realize that I found my place. You guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm Emily Steinway.
Well, Emily, everybody. 13 years, right? 13. Good luck, right? 13 good luck. All right, we're gonna keep on trucking. I know I see people moving around a bit. That's okay. Scylla was telling you, I'll make this real quick. Scylla was telling me about the comedy club. How many people here have been there so far? I bet a bunch of you have, right? Yeah. I know a lot of you visit the club. We've been doing this for a year. Yeah. Ariel. She comes all the time to the club. But yeah, last year we gave, I think we gave $26,000 to local nonprofits. This year's off to a big start. We're already for a month in, and I think we just crossed 3,000. So we're hoping to beat that this year. So get a chance, give it to comedy.com all the time.
Hey, Irwin, how do you like the porcupine?
You missed that whole conversation, didn't you? So far, I picked on it, Emily's picked on it, and I'm pretty damn sure Robin. Actually, I think Jeff did too. So yeah, you got the whole Monty going here. We're all pretty much busting on it.
Good.
I don't know what show she was. All right, you guys ready to go with this? Here we go. You ready for headliner tonight? Yeah. This is so weird. Your headliner. I've known him since I started comedy like 17 years ago. He was a contributing writer to the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, sorry. He's been on everything, HBO, Comedy Central, all that. He's also a native Washingtonian. Please give it up for Roger Urson.
Hi, folks, how are you?
We're not in a hurry, right? It's good to be with people. My wife went out of town, so I took my dogs for a week and, at the park and at the bed, and sleeping with them, watching a movie with them. That was in your way. Well, the camera was.
Yeah.
And you're with PBS or? CNN?
Make it good.
Oh, make his basement video. Anyway, so it's good to be with people again. You look very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I never know what I'm going to start with. So, somebody mentioned they adopted a dog. Anybody know that adopted a dog from the animal shelter? That's what it's called, right? The shelter used to be called, when we were kids, the dog pound.
Right.
There's a lot of us here that are old enough to remember the dog pound. But now shelter sounds more humane, doesn't it? Dogs have been abandoned and just down on the luck. Part of that big layoff out. If we could get a flea to a bone, we'll be on our way. And they put you through a pre-adoption interview. Right, they come to your house, they want to know what kind of home you can give the dog, right? They're gonna kill him in 7 days. All of a sudden, they're concerned about his welfare. They're walking around my house with a clipboard taking notes, like that, 4 bedrooms, swimming pool. I don't think he's gonna be happy with these people. Put him down, Bob, go ahead, give him a shot. The way to get it, I thought this was gonna be like a simple process. Has anybody actually done this? It's not that easy, is it? I mean, I grew up cultural, but I can tell you, I never went through this process. But I did. They came to your house, they walked around taking us. She goes, what kind of dog, what are you gonna do with the dog? What kind of dog thing? So I'm like, well, we're gonna do dog things, We're gonna dress him in a t-shirt, walk with him in the living room. A little wheelbarrow, walk across the room with the hind legs. And then she goes, how about a cat? Well, I think we all know cats don't like the wheelbarrow walk, right? They prefer the airplane. Anyway, so that was my experience with the dog. I just thought I'd get it off my chest because we just did this like a few months ago, so it was a pain in the ass. So anybody flying, traveling a lot in the last few months? It's kind of crazy out there? Anybody? Trying to avoid it over here, have you?
Yeah, we have.
Have you been on like a crazy flight yet? With any? Because now, I mean, there's fights breaking out, and especially on, I think, Southwest. They rearranged their seating, by the way. Southwest, now they have first class, coach, and ringside. Pilot comes on your cut man for this flight. I've always wondered how these discount airlines have managed to keep the cost of tickets so low, Like you can fly around here for like $49 to Europe, or like Southwest or something. But I think about it, it's for $49 round trip, it's fuel or maintenance. You don't get both. You're always that surprise when the plane crashes. You think that? Now looking out what do you call it, the lounge area there, with the at Dulles, you can see the planes coming in and loading and all that stuff. I'm actually watching the Southwest pilots, siphoning gas up the Delta jets. Get the magazines, get Anybody been to the prostate exam route lately? Moving right along here, I never know what I'm talking about. I can't believe how much protective gear the hygienist wears. I mean, well, this is a different story. I went to the dentist and I can't believe how much protective gear that the hygienist was wearing, right? They used to wear just like a little cotton mask, right? The other day she comes in with a cotton mask on, latex gloves, and a welder shield. And then she goes, it's for your protection. I said, what the hell do you have? Maybe you should have called in sick today. Let me put it in perspective for you. My proctologist only wears a finger cuff. Leaves the door open for the exam. It seems a little lucky from you. 2:30 there. Are you trying to be healthy? Anybody want to die recently? Have you done this? Everybody's always wanted that. You ever want to die where you start hiding the goodies from yourself, looking for a place to, have you ever done that? Okay, I walk into the kitchen trying to hide all the goodies from myself, you're looking for a good place, like, oh, I'll never think to look in there. Hour later, you're back, where the hell did I put that? If I were me. Grocery store should do that, shouldn't they hide the stuff? You walk in, where are the chips? Oh, they're in here. You walk around the store, manager's on the VA, you're getting more. We're lazy now, aren't we? I mean, we're just, I think it's like 7% of the population's obese. Am I wrong about that? I think that's, these guys laughing at me, yeah, they are. We're just fat, dumb, and lazy now. Every sport that Americans have created, you can hit, kick, or throw the ball, someone else returns it. Every sport we created, right? You ever play soccer? I tried to play soccer a couple years ago. It's 2 hours nonstop running. That's why it's not an American sport. Remember that game when you were a kid, you walk along kicking a stone or a can out in front of you? That was kind of fun. Throws it off to the left or the right, like, pump that shit. So, I mean, soccer, man, that's an ancient sport. I think it was like 1,500 years exactly. They used to play with the enemy's head. How do you come up with this before? Oh, you guys didn't bring a ball again? Jose, you want to play? You want to play? Yeah, you'll be in the entire game. Come here. How many reserve parking places do we need now? This is part of the problem, right? I mean, we started out with just handicap spots, remember that? Like 1 or 2. Now, like 7-Eleven has like 15 out front. I mean, it's like a nurse's home when you go to 7-Eleven. Isn't it the truth? I mean, it's like, and everybody abuses them. There's so many people. I mean, I'm sitting there at grocery store the other day. A guy pulls up in the handicap spot, and I'm thinking to myself, you better have flippers for feet when you get out of the car. And then we didn't just stop with the handicap spots. Now we have and trying to be inclusive, we've become exclusive now, right? We have a reserved for parents with small children, right? I mean, really, seriously, it's America, right? There are no small children, okay? Then you have reserved for parents with 20-somethings that have moved back home. I think my favorite reserved parking place is employee of the month, reserved for employee of the month, right? Always empty. Gas prices have come down a little bit. Think a little bit, right? I think the only way we're really going to see truly lower gas prices is to shoot the son of a bitch who goes to the ladder and changes the numbers. So you can do that anymore, I don't know. But the numbers change, but you never see what you have to do it. He was doing it like 3:15 a.m. They don't want to be speeding. And now every gas station has TV at the pump. Right, so I'm at the Sunoco the other day, pumping gas and the TV's on, and the news channel, on business channel, I'm actually watching the price of oil go up as I'm paying. Look at that. Oh my God. The good news with high gas prices is LA, the drive-bys are down, so that's good. You're trying to figure that one out in your head. That's a good thing, another carpool thing. I bought my first SUV. Do you have SUVs? It's like, do you have an SUV?
Nah,
What do you drive?
van.
A van. Well, that's a kind of a gas guzzler. I bought the SUV, it's my first truck, really. And what I like about the thing, and by the way, it's made, and I bought a GM and I thought it was supporting the American economy, but no, it's not. It's made in Mexico. The whole thing's made in Mexico, which explains the 19 other people that have been riding around with for that long. Trying to go through that delivery. Oh, okay, good to see you. So anyway, yeah, what I like about this thing though, are the mirrors on the side, they're as big as dinner plates. Right? I mean, they're huge, right? And when you back up, they tilt, which is pretty cool. And so I was at Whole Foods the other day, and I was backing up, and the mirrors tilted, and the sun caught the mirrors, and the hybrid behind me burst into flames. They're going to run their birthday stocks. And the flames go to Washington Post. We're not going to get played. She's like, why not? So anyways, I have a sore throat. I've been drinking, not a sore throat, a raspy thing. Anybody know this? There's no joke here. It's just like months now. Do you have this, man? You're shaking your head. What is it? I don't think it's COVID. You think it's COVID?
I think so.
Huh? I've seen two doctors for this. Come on in, sir. We all see you. Everybody's there. So, in any case, there's so many things to talk about. We have, well, the border, we have 300,000 people coming across the border each month. Did you know that? 300, what do you guys think of that, 300? So it's kind of, you know who would do a good job at protecting the border? Not letting people in, Costco employees. You ever try to get in that store without your membership card? You know, it's not gonna let 3 people in here, let alone 300,000 a month. It's a different story when you leave it that way. Costco, right? They have that retiree propped up against the wall, checking your receipts. People are smugly flat screen TVs. 150-pound bags of dogs. Let me see your receipt. What the hell you got there? I think it's Ashford. Get out. Valentine's Day is a few days. Today's, what's the day? 10th? So next week, yeah, next week. A lot of married folks here, yeah?
Right.
Is it mostly married? I'm married 40 years, and don't call it, it is at any moment. I have no idea what's going to be. Most guys don't, do we just, you know, women work at relationships. Guys just kind of, we reappear out of the bedroom each one pretty much. And you're just happy to be there, like, whew, made it, okay. Okay, have a nice day, okay. See you tonight. I should be here tonight, right? We're not sure what the rules. You know, here's what I'm amazed by. I'm amazed that, if you guys think about this, think about how many guys your wife saw before she chose you. She saw thousands of times, thousands of guys, right, for a couple of decades at least. And then one day she goes, I'll take that one. And my mind is out there. No, I have to go look at the window. No. That's not a tall one. No, give that little short-winded idiot right there. He looks like a complete moron. I'll be able to shape and mold and bend him. Clean him up and bring him around. I'll be back in now. DSW's done a big sale. It's like a carrot package. You married long time? This is long time love.
Not long enough.
Oh, bullshit. Get out of here. Yeah, my wife, she's like, every wife, I think, is like, they're the boss and the, pretty much, right?
Oh, yeah.
If the long-term marriage, they are. Short-term marriage, those are the ones that ends like in 5 years or something. But the long-term is the wife that they're enjoying. And my wife, she's like, she's the brains of the outfit. She has a way of phrasing things. Like, one time she said, in order for a couple to grow closer, for us to grow closer, sometimes there needs to be distance between us, right? But I'm paraphrasing, of course. What she actually said was, get the hell out. I wanted to even do the married stuff yet. I got so much more stuff to do. But I don't. So I want to stick with the Valentine's Day stuff. Now, how long have you been married? Somebody over here was 45, 50, 47? Right there? Whoa. 40. So there's a lot of long-term marriages in here, right? I mean, it's 35, 25, 40, 50?
59.
59, you're looking at that. Yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad. Maybe you just couldn't step, I don't know. Everybody, when you hear that, everybody goes, oh my God. But we don't know, maybe they just financially couldn't, but you don't have any idea. But there's all kinds of reasons we stay together and the kids love them. There's no jokes, I'm just editorializing now. But 59 years, there's still a lot of love, right? Yeah. Now, let me ask you, so Valentine's Day is coming up. I remember buying lingerie for my wife on Valentine's Day, you know, when we were first married, you know, it's easy to buy lingerie on Valentine's Day, you know. I went to Victoria's Secret. You been there, Victoria's Secret? And on Valentine's Day, I'm sure you guys know this, on Valentine's Day at Victoria's Secret, they take the crotch out of everything. Like everything I picked up had the crotch missing. I asked the sales lady, so why's the crotch missing? She goes, it's Valentine's Day. Like that explained it all. What was that? Let me see the Thanksgiving stuff. Let me see the stuffing or something. It's easy to buy lingerie, right? When you're a newlywed. You just walk in, they go, how long have you been married? in 1 year, she goes, here's a thought, get out. But 59 years, oh my goodness. So you walk in, like, you're going to but 47, right, you walk in, how long have you been married? 59 years. Oh, okay, can somebody watch the front desk here? I've got a basement, I'll be right back. Here you go, sir. Oh, this is Gore-Tex diving suit. Yeah, live for a depth of 100 feet or more. It's crotchless. And you know, when you buy women, I think most women dislike, they don't like lingerie. It's uncomfortable, it's a pain in the ass. And you buy this stuff, you end up bringing it back, you know. And they never look like the dummy in the store, do they? When your wife puts it, or your girlfriend puts it on, right, they come out and put it on you. Right, they never look the same as it do. I'm thinking my brain right here, right? But it never looks the same when they come out and you're like, what the hell? Did I pick up the wrong bag or something? You got a package off the bag? Because I can take that back. My wife's like, you know, one night she came to bed wearing a teddy and hunting socks. Right? And I became a rabble, stuck in his side. I was like, are those wool? They itchy. Her idea actually in lingerie, right? It's like an oversized t-shirt with like a cartoon character on the front, you know? Which I don't mind, but now if I go to Disney World, I get excited. This woman's looking at me like, you're a bad boy. You should be spanked. Not a good way. I'm revealing too much, I think. Are you sleeping, sir?
Oh, no.
You're gone.
No, not at all.
This is late for you, Whitney. This is late for a lot of us, isn't it? I wasn't doing a gig tonight, I'd be in bed, I'd be watching Netflix. No, I wouldn't be watching anything, I'd just be sitting there going, man, shit. How am I paying for this shit? Then you always stop on something stupid, right? That's like the weather channel. That's not stupid. So, my wife cleans and when my wife cleans, my stuff disappears. And I think that's a female thing, because when I was a kid, my mom would clean, and everybody's stuff would disappear. Right? And you can't find it again. If they don't tell you where they put it, you're never going to find it again. But I think the name of the place where they put everything is called Away. If you ask them, that's what they'll tell you. I put it away. That's right next to where it belongs. Well, where does it belong? Well, if you put it away, you know it. Just want my keys, honey. Please give me my keys. And it's a bit of a long relationship. We started using each other's phrases and words once in a while, you know. And I never used hers until I could be embarrassed by it. Like I was in the gym, I got a shower, came back to the laundry room, get dressed, and I just blurted it out. Has anyone seen my undies? All the married guys are helping me look. I don't see them. You put them away.
Where they belong.
Single guys are backing up with gear, backing up with place. Guys, where are you going? We're going to have a beer together. Huh? Yeah, let me go potty. I'll be right with you. We have a king-size bed at home. I get about this much of it. She sleeps like she's skydiving. I'll swear that. And well, I was in sleeping position. That's all I get. Here's one. Here's the other. One night I was doing this. She goes, why are you so restless? You can't sleep if you're going to toss and turn on. They should have a mattress store just for men, shouldn't it? Like to buy a mattress. Are you married? You betcha. Here you go, sir. Here you go. They call it the wedge. Oh, this is very nice, very nice. Oh, started. You know, I just bought my first pillow. I know this sounds odd, but every guy in this room has a pillow, but he has no idea where it came from. Good guys don't buy pillows. We're issued pillows. When you're born, you get a mom and name and a pillow. I lost my pillow, I freaked out, I was like, where the hell am I gonna get a pillow? And you always took it for granted, right? When off to college, took it to the dorm with me, got your first apartment, there it was. I lost it, I freaked out, I was like, where the hell did I get one? Ended up back at the mall, at the information desk, a little old lady. She goes, what happened to the one you were issued? And then the sales lady goes, what kind of pillow do you want? Oh my God, right? I mean, we're very linear, one like a hat. And, blue and white stripes on it. Stains look like a map of Eastern Europe. Yeah, before the wall came down. How many pillows should be on the bed? 19, that's correct. At least 19. And when you make the bed, you have to get those in the right order. Right, first pillow was called the sham. It's the biggest pillow on the bed, right? That's ruffled on it, and they call it the sham because that's what it is. It costs about $150. And then they have the next pillow is the actual working pillow, the one you sleep on, right? And then they have smaller pillows that go between the cracks and the larger pillows. And those are called grappling pillows. Grappling. He's like, grappling? What are you, an accountant or something? Grappling. You know what grappling is? Grappling. Can you hear me? Grappling. Is that the company again? Go ahead and get it, we'll wait. Tell, answer, please. Can somebody answer the phone? Which one is it? Oh, that's it. Did you get it? Everything okay? Oh. She's like, I don't know what it's doing. Need a book something. Technology. You know, technology down through the ages has inspired people, don't you? Don't you think? I mean, why somebody just stick it, like the quill. What do you think about it? I mean, it sounds stupid and silly, but the quill, or maybe a little bit of graphite, you know, keep marking like a line. Surely the devil's stick. But hey, somebody was burned, let it stay for that. I'm taking this personal. Where was I now? Huh? Oh, the grounding bill, yeah. And we can't bring ourselves to a pillow. You ever see a pillow in the trash? You've never seen a pillow in the trash. We always stick it in the closet for guests. It's like a little brown wafer laying out there. If you ever sleep over at somebody's house, you don't like a guest pillow. I think you're pillow right there. No, I've seen your drooling son. Thank you very much. Doing things together, that's important to women in a relationship, isn't it? Doing things together. It's my wife's biggest complaint. We never do anything together. And we think we're doing something together. Like, you want to shoot some pool? It's like, no, I want to do something together, something romantic, just the two of us, something fun, you know? Let's paint the entire downstairs. Oh, this is flaws. Financially, are you guys set? Are you portfolios working, stuff like that? See, I don't think I saved enough, I really don't. I checked the porcelain pig on our bureau. Everybody is, most people in this room probably are getting ready to retire, right? Our generation, the boomers, were very wasteful. I buy stuff I don't even use, I do it all the time, like food. You guys do that? I buy bags of groceries every week and I take it home and I think to myself, this time, I'm gonna cook it. I never cook it, I stick it in the refrigerator and let it rot. I use the refrigerator as a 3D menu. You know, just stand on the door and stare at stuff so I know what I want. I'm like, oh, chicken looks good. I'm going to KFC. We're good about putting money in the bank, but then we run around the corner to the ATM and take it out every 15 minutes. So that's going to be the downfall of our country. It's not going to be like a nuclear holocaust. It's going to be financial ruin. You ever got, one time at the bank, I got 220 stuck together. That was nice. The ATM, you ever had that happen? That was nice until they made my next deposit, and the cashier accused me of stealing money from the bank. I said, I don't think so. She went, Mr. Mercer, we have your entire victory dance on video. Trying to say, you okay?
I'm good. That raspy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell it is, but it's something going on. I think like 7 months or something. Keeps you longer, doesn't it? Like 3 months, it's been a week now. I think I'm pregnant. So I'm originally from the DC area. This was fun trying to get here tonight, because you go up and down, you make the U-turn, you go up and down Connecticut Avenue for an hour and a half. And Google keep going, it's right up Connecticut Avenue. Well, you guys live in a neighborhood, so you know, it's not, you gotta come off the, like, service road. Anyway, so, but I'm originally from the DC area, and my wife and I moved out to LA some time ago, and we hired professional movers, instead of moves and asking our friends to help. Everybody's been there, right? Friends will help, but they have to get liquored up before they live heavy hours or something. Can you help us move on Saturday? Yeah, our heroin and boards will be there. Professionals, on the other hand, show up drunk. I didn't see them drinking, but the sweat had a head on it. Ever have you used professional movers? They look nothing like the guys in the company brochure. They look like, I'm actually, my first move, I'm actually waiting for the, male models to arrive. Matching jumpsuits, hats, little logo right there. I'm looking out the window, I don't see them, honey, just a Antifa rally forming. They had tattoos, like mover tattoos, you see, one guy had like a tattoo of a broken motto. It was all wrenched out of the. Not the most careful guys, right? We had a beautiful antique mirror in one of the bedrooms. The mover actually turns to me and he goes, pal, we might as well break that right here. Packing Venus is not gonna help. And I love the mover jargon, like all your belongings are referred to as crap. You get all this crap. It took 5 months to move us cross country. I his face. 5 months, I had no idea where they were, no idea. I was watching World News Tonight, live from Moscow, saw a movie there. Cruz waving, doing shooters, wearing my clothes. That's our crap. And then when they show up, they're gonna charge you extra to unload the van now, because there's more pieces. Your couch, it's a section. So, anyway, shout something else so I can have a subject to talk about. Anything, finances, marriage, dwarfs. I think we're gonna wrap this up. Can I ask to finish? I have no idea where I'm going with this. Like I said. Actually, where's the Erwin? You come back up? I have a wrap finish. Yeah. I was to say good night. But you guys are enjoyable. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy.
You guys had to do the raffle, right? Where's that? Okay. Let's do the raffle It's not you.
So, thank you to everybody who bought raffle tickets tonight, and let our lovely host fill the tickets. Oh my gosh. Okay, the number is. There we go. 650-659. Again, 650-659. Joshua Lansky. So we raised a total of $475. So 50% is $238.
You coming back up?
I don't know, should I come back up or you can close the show?
Well, I'm gonna close the show, maybe you want, it looks like you want to say. She's got that look.
She's got the look. So yes, first of all, I hope you all had a good time. Let's give a good round of applause. Thank you so much, Berwick, and thank you for everyone that came out tonight. If you came for the pre-cocktail 45-minute time, applaud yourselves, let me know that you enjoyed it. I think we had a wonderful time. We do have food that I'm going to bring out in the back. It's free for the taking. We've got some pastas, we've got some fish sticks, we have some other food that's left over. Take it, it's free. If you'd like to make a donation on your own then to the synagogue, please do so. But it's free for the taking, so I thank you all for coming tonight. I hope you listen to Babette for all the wonderful programs that we have coming up. Next year, again, it will be Erev. Erev, what is it? What's tomorrow? Super Bowl. Erev Super Bowl is our comedy night. God willing, that the world be at peace, that Israel get all their hostages released and brought back. May we love each other. Sometimes it's just as simple as be kind. Be kind to someone. And communication and try to learn from each other. So, had a wonderful time. It's always a pleasure. Hyman and I love hosting this with Erwin. It's worth all the work that we put into it. And thank you again, everyone, for coming out tonight. Be safe. We have a beautiful, beautiful day that will be in the Hyman Gallery, coffee, tea, and sweets. So continue eating.
Continue meeting. All right, guys, thank you all for letting us be here. Give it one more time for Emily, Roger, Jeff. We'll see you next week.